It's just really nice to be out here after rain when you can actually start to see the green pick growing up through the yellow and dead grass, and of course that green pick's got all the nutrients and protein that the cattle and the sheep need, so they start to look really good. Oh, hello girls. The exercise was to get a breeding co-op together where we shared the boars and the genetics around to actually bring this Wessex saddleback back from oblivion, which is basically what Fiona Chambers has been doing in Victoria. We want to replicate essentially what she's doing there, so have a number of breeders, because the demand for the pork is huge. I mean, we won't satisfy it, but well, not in my lifetime. But getting the numbers up is the other thing, and the reason that the numbers aren't getting up is because you need this free range type attribute. They don't do well in intensive piggeries, do you, mate? Is that good?
4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, let's do that. Is that? Yeah, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah.
That's fine. And we're ready to do a big briefing at 6:30 when we'll feed you as well.
Okay. And where do you want that done?
Well, where can we do it? In the kitchen?
Yeah. I think so.
Okay, 7 o'clock guests arrive. What we're going to do just before 7 o'clock, we're going to make up 10 plates using the main course plate with a napkin underneath, with a little bowl on the side. And this is going to have the banya chowder in it, which is an anchovy garlic mayonnaise, and it's just been made now, so it'll be warm. And we've chosen this dish because Grissini and this mayonnaise are actually from the region that Carlo Petrini comes from. So I just thought it might be a nice little, make him feel at home kind of touch, our style. The vegetables are just very simple, and it's not a course, it's just a nibble, okay? So it's not a big deal. They've got side plates on the table, and that's what they'll be eating from. And then we're going to go on to the first course, which is Sophie's course, which is the brawn. Do you want to just quickly tell the staff about the brawn?
Pig's head meat, hock, trotter, cheeks and veal tongue, and it's set in a jelly, in a pork jelly, and there's a little sort of a tile on a plate with some sorrel remoulade, which is a mayonnaise with cornichons and capers and French tarragon that's on the side, with some toasted rye bread and a little bitter green salad.
We do know where the stuff has come from, basically. If someone asks where things are from, chances are we're going to be able to tell you exactly where everything's come from. Okay, next up then Michael Croft is going to speak, and most of you know Michael Croft because he's the guy that grows the pigs that we used for the Fergus Henderson dinner and for the Fergus Sif launch, and also tonight we've used his pig. So all the pigs, we've got 2 pigs, they're massive, and we've used all the heads and trotters, and then we've cooked off about 1.5 of the saddles. So the next course is Jared's course. It's a hot entree.
It's a ragu made from the shoulder of the pig. It's all been hand cut, so it's all sort of nice and bitsy, and it's been cooked with just a little bit of roast tomato sauce, milk, sage, and lots of sage, and a little bit of lemon. And that sort of curdles and gets all nice and creamy. It's serving that on top of just a really straightforward, simple risotto, butter and cheese only, a little bit of chicken stock, and some braised leeks have been cooked in the ragu as well. And because it's all sort of a bit I'm doing a salad. That's going to be there'll be 2 salads on each table, and salad is there just sort of to lighten the palate after having a big sort of meat and rice.
And then Leonie's going to call Carlo Petrini to speak, and then we're going to serve the main course.
It's been roasted like a porchetta in an Italian way, like they go around the room, and it's going to be served sliced on the plate with just a bit of jus on it, and accompanied by some artichokes which have been steamed with garlic and herbs, and silver bit on top, and then we got some roast potato and roast onions, roast potato, and roast parsley. And that will be in the middle of the table.
What we thought was we've got 2 stands, so they're going to take out 1 lot and each end of the table. So 1 lot will help themselves to artichokes, One lot will help themselves to potatoes and pumpkins simultaneously, and then you're going to come back in and you're going to take the same thing out again, but give it to the opposite ends of the table. So artichokes on the red fern end of the building, okay? And then yes, but make sure that they know. And then we're doing dessert, and what we've done with dessert is just kept it really simple. It's not really a tiramisu, but it's in the style of. So I've made biscuits using almonds. Lots of amaretto, I beg your pardon. Like when we do our tiramisu with the sabayon on, but instead of using masala, I've used amaretto as well. And then we've layered it up with just some plain mascarpone. There's an almond praline sprinkled through in the layers. A couple of the layers have just got like melted chocolate and cream. And then it's basically repeats itself, and I'm about to put a caramel over the top, and then we'll just literally, it's going to be a spoonful and probably just with cocoa on to finish. So yeah, almonds is the word.
Hello.
How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Just trying to find my dietary. Has anyone seen those forms about the dietary words?
Nice to see you all. Great to meet everybody.
Send a text message.
Carlo, Cherry Ripe.
Che piacere, come stai?
Found that barbecue.
And the way that another business is doing a couple of years ago. We've only been able to do that.
Loving it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry.
It's all right.
Finishing the result.
I need to.
So for me, I think it's left.
Really good at is Asian, and even though I know how to do it.
How many cups on or you're up?
Last bud.
Monty told me that she was a Terra Madre,
E mi sembrava di essere in famiglia.
and I felt at home as if I were in my family, with my family.
Fantastico!
And that's great, it's really fantastic.
Ora se ci dicono che siamo matti,
Don't be afraid if people tell us that we are crazy.
sono loro matti.
They are the crazy
Sono
ones.
loro che hanno distrutto il pianeta.
They destroy the planet.
Noi abbiamo la forza.
But we are strong
Terra
instead.
Madre ha la forza.
Terra Madre is strong.
E tu che sei venuta a Terra Madre,
And you came to Terra Madre
che sei uscita per la prima volta
and you
dall'Australia,
left Australia for the first time.
hai visto il popolo di Terra
You
Madre
could see the Terra Madre
e
people
ti sei sentita cara.
and you felt at home.
I love you. Secondo.
Alex, in fact, was a Terra Madre delegate for the last edition of Terra Madre. She is an absolute devotee of the slow food philosophy, and I must say she is a great human being. Very nice to meet her. Alex told me just a few things which I would like to pass on to you. And she said that working on this dinner rekindled for her the spirit of Terra Madre and the coming together of like-minded souls. It is, she said, the opportunity back home in Australia to work as a unified group, to make a statement, but she understands now that she is not alone.
Unbelievably words. Of course, I'd love to welcome Carlo Petrini here tonight. It's an absolute pleasure to have you in our homeland. And I'd like to welcome you all, but also my fellow chefs, each and every one of them who I've spent time with, and it's a great honour to be working with them. As Leonie said, we are using Michael. In fact, it's the recipe. I was thinking about the recipe for this evening, and it's not quite, 3 deaths and a wedding, or what is it? 3 weddings and a funeral, but it's 4 chefs and 2 Michaels. So we've got Michael Croft and Michael Champion and 4 chefs. And the lovely thing about this tonight is that we've actually taken 2 of Michael's pigs, and we're going to be eating our way through them, so to speak, in the course of the evening. And so we've used many different parts, and the menu came about literally by sort of talking to each other and said, okay, well, we've got a pig, we break it down. What part do you want to cook? And everybody sort of put up their hand. I said I'd do dessert. And through lots of emails and everything, we pulled the produce together. And when we're cooking as cooks, we're basically influenced by 2 main factors. One is the produce that we have to work with, and the people that have worked with produce before us. So whether it's the cooks we've grown up with or the writers that we've read. And tonight, starting, the first dish that we just had down very briefly was just to make Carlo feel at home with the grissini, which is from his region, and the bagna calda, and some of our local vegetables. The next dish is Sophie's dish, which is the brawn, and Sophie's drawn on her German heritage, having grown up in the Barossa Valley, and that's where that dish is inspired from. Jared just likes starch and meat, so he's given you risotto with a beautiful ragu. More or less. And for Vince, well, he got the loins, so to speak, and they were so big. I mean, these pigs are just enormous, and we were originally going to stuff them, but they're not, so your menu is wrong, but that's just because we were working with what we had. And so Vince has done a beautifully slow roasted porchetta in the style of Roma. And back to the dessert, I thought since we'd started off with a little bit of a recognition of where Carlo has come from, mine's kind of a completely bastardised version of tiramisu, and it's not. So if you don't think it's tiramisu, you're absolutely right. And I think that's enough from me. So thank you all again, and I hope we all have to be very
We're a micro producer, we're very, very small. We make our living from our produce, and we do very well, predominantly, and I have to say thank you very much for the food, because it encourages small producers like myself and Michael Champion. So thank you all for coming.
It looks like an RSL club.
I know, that's right. I showed the guys it from the 7:30 report. I held it up and said, oh look, it's the meat tray. Imagine winning that. Isn't it great? What is it? It's a meat tray. I won it at the Erasmus. Yeah. It's the Michael Croft meat tray. No, it's actually the Hudson's.
We're going with 8 and then we're coming back with 8. Yeah?
That's the plan.
Yeah.
And everybody make a warm welcome Carlo though, raising my hair, and I walk past them and out the door.
The police won't do that.
You know, the other one might work the other day.
Good, I'm going to get out here so you guys can get a car.
many portions are you getting out of each
We've got 5, so
Very important job.
it's mostly
Okay.
goes in one.
What type of outfit out there? We reuse that's the other vegetable.
Yes. What do I say, darling?
Thank you. Molte grazie. Molte grazie.
Done on the table.
Vincenzino, buona bagna cauda della mia vita.
You have to have Vincent to make it.
Buona, bravissimo. Grazie.
Enjoy
The 25th of October, remember Terra Madre in Italy.
Yes, that could be fun. Yeah. Meanwhile, I'll see you at Everly Street tomorrow morning.
Come on.
Yes, tomorrow morning. Thank you.
Vado a dormire perché sono
I'm
stanco.
going to sleep now because I'm very tired. I'm exhausted.
Yes, fair enough.
It's been a long
Tutte le
day.
ore che soffia. Grazie. Vai, tomorrow.
Finally, our chefs, Jared, Wendy, Sophie, and Vincenzo. Thank you very much. A wonderful, wonderful dinner. And we want to do. Thank you.
Fresh sourdough, folks. Beautiful fresh sourdough, all freshly baked. Hot gourmet pies and sausage rolls.
So what, do you want the red ones or the orange? I don't know where the sign's gone. I have to find it. It's gone somewhere.
Good morning.
Morning, Alex.
We're certainly getting to see the many facets of bird cow fish, aren't you?
Yes.
One no cream.
So these are irregular, are they?
Exchange you all through the day at the markets. Must.